Hey guys, Stitching May here to do my update video. I was doing so good with the weekly updates, and then October happened and everything fell to the wayside. My rotation, my videos, everything went crazy. But I'm here now. The last video, we had just come back from our family vacation and we had had construction damage to our car. That was all taken care of. The construction foreman or the owner of the construction company, I don't really know what he was in the company. I know that was my contact person, was amazing. Everything went off without a hitch. In fact, when we sent him the estimate, he said he was going to have to run it by some people, so I assume it wasn't the owner. And then he wasn't calling back, and I was like, okay, this is where the problem's going to start. Before I knew, the day that I was going to call, if I hadn't heard from them, the car company itself called and said that they had already paid and for me to bring the car in. So, I mean, it was amazing. So, that's out of the way. We've actually since traded that car in. Anyway, I didn't want anything else to happen to it before we could trade it in. But, so, that's all taken care of. And I am here now to show some stitching. We are still doing baseball season, guys. It has rained so much that we've not been able to have all the games. We've got 3 makeup games. 2 of them have now been 2 of them were canceled, scheduled, canceled, scheduled, and now canceled again. We have 3 games that we cannot get played because every time they schedule them, it rains. So when that slows down, we'll then do basketball because he's decided he wants to try basketball, and my brother's actually going to coach the team. And then he is also saying he wants to do piano lessons. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't even know where to start with that, but we will figure that out, I guess. So you aren't here for all that craziness. You're here for stitching. So let me jump into my stitching. I worked on 7 projects, 8 projects, 9 projects. A lot of projects since I've seen you last. One, I was really smart and an awesome floss tuber. It was a fully finished ornament. My very first one, too, that I gifted in the ornament exchange at the retreat. And guess who forgot to get even a picture of that ornament? Me. So it was an ornament by, I thought I had the pattern, I don't have the pattern. It was one of the ones that I got destashed to me. It just said joy, and inside the O it had the manger scene. It had just Joseph and Mary and the baby. And it was a very simple ornament. I did it on some scrap fabric with some DMC 115, and then I backed it with just some Christmas cotton. D Squared got it. So I'm hoping that maybe she'll show it in her video. But anyway, I forgot completely to take a picture of that ornament. And then I had one new start on the retreat. And then lately I've had a lot of obligation stitching. I call it obligation stitching because I've been working on my stitch along from Stitch. And then I am also on a team. I don't know how many of you guys know about the Stitch Along, but this year they have teams. So the Stitch Along is a free stitch along hosted by a company that makes cross stitch patterns called Stitch, S-T-E-O-T-C-H, Stitch. And this year they decided to not only do the Stitch Along, the free stitch along. You can donate money as you wish for the Stitch Along, and they also have team challenges. And so I'm on a team with Sammy J. Sammy J stitches. I stitch what I want. Carly and some other floss tubers. I can't think of everybody's name. Oh, Regina Sweary Stitcher's on there. Regina, I always forget you on this thing. I'm horrible. No, I don't forget Regina. YouTube unsubscribed from her and I could never find her. There are several other floss tubers on there, but we're on a team and there are different challenges. Some of them have been to take a spooky picture with your whip. One was like take your whip to work day, and one was actually where we had to create a pattern and we've all stitched on it like a round robin. I finished my section. It will get mailed to Sammy tomorrow. And so I stitched on that, and then of course the stitch along too, and then I had the retreat finish that I stitched on. So that was my obligation stitching, the ones that I had like a deadline to get done. After that, I took some, of course, of my projects with me to the retreat, and I got a little bit done there because, let's be honest, how much stitching really happens at a retreat? Don't ask Connie. She will tell you a lot, because that girl, let me tell you, she stitches like a maniac. But I'm always up and down, up and down, up and down. So I'll get into the stitching, and then I'll talk about the retreat. So in no particular order, because that's the way it always is, I finished up my November block for the Connie Gee SAL. And as always, I'll put a link to that below. Let me make sure I didn't start on December before I show you. No, I did not. So this is where we currently are on that project. I do have all of the patterns because I'm kind of doing a model stitch for her. I'm doing it on a variated fabric with solid stitching instead of the other lady who did it on solid fabric with a variegated thread. But here this is. Guys, this piece is always so much fun to do. It's really neat to watch the patterns take shape and as they come along. But this is the November one. We'll do December, and then of course we'll start in January, and we will have a whole other year of this piece to do. And can't recommend the SAL enough. I absolutely love working on this. That fabric is was a hand-dyed piece of fabric from Sunny Dyes, and she no longer makes that fabric. So the next one I worked on, if I have a picture of it before, guys, I was horrible about pictures this time. So I'm probably not going to have a lot of pictures, and I apologize for that. But I was horrible about pictures of my projects before and after. So let's just assume that I don't have any of the pictures, and if I do, I will throw them in. This is my Christmas Eve by, why am I saying Stony Creek? By the Prairie Schooler. This is what it will look like when it's finished. My fabric is by Fabrics by LJ. Absolutely love his fabrics. And this is where I currently am. I wasted so much fabric, guys. This is when I still didn't feel comfortable doing the corner starts. Oh, so much wasted fabric. So much wasted fabric. Anyway. The only thing I'm changing are the letters, the words at the bottom. Those were stitched in lighter colors, and I changed them to the more bold gold, green, and red that were already in the chart. And I mainly worked on some snow. And then I try to fill in some of the snowflakes over here and some of the windows, trying to kind of catch everything up. Some of the small details. But here this project is. This was a SAL with the Lunch Bunch Trio. Connie and Mandy have both finished their piece already. And I'm still stuck behind. The next one is a SAL with Connie. This is, where is the piece? There it is. I can't show you because all I have is my working copy, and my working copy doesn't have the actual finished piece on it. It's Anne of Green Gables by Soda Stitch. I'm sure you all have seen it. I am finally finished with the middle block, and I'm working on the border. And I finished all the back stitching on Diana. That's all that I had, everything but the back stitching and the beginning of this border done on Diana, the last video. I I don't know if I'm at the same place or if I'm behind Connie. I feel like I'm behind. She says I'm not. She did not start with this middle border, which is most of the pattern. She went around and did some of the border patterns. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. So she still has this middle part to do and like 2 corners, and I have all 4 corners. I don't know, we'll have to see. I think the pattern, the small motifs, I guess, or the small blocks in the border will go quicker than this middle piece did. But there this one is. And this is on some 18 count blue Ada that was gifted to me by Connie. She says she might do videos in January, you guys. Fingers crossed. She's got some interesting whip plans coming up, and she's thinking about doing a video starting to show her plans for next year. And then this is my, I'll show that one next. Or not next, last. There we go. This is Earthly Treasures by Plum Street Samplers. This is what it will look like when it's finished. This one was gifted to me by Melody Stitches. The saying is, dwell not on earthly treasures, nor covet or envy or pout. Thou entered this world and brought nothing in, and will carry with thee nothing out. And this is done on some R&R Creations. I want to say it's called Homespun. Old Homespun. They don't make this fabric anymore because I love it. And everything I love is usually out of print and hard to find. And I think this is Vintage Homespun by R&R Productions. And I can't get it anymore. I filled in the around the angel's head, which I've reversed this color and this color, but I don't care. I'm going to leave it that way. I kind of like it that way. This project is so customized or modified. Have you guys ever seen, you probably haven't because it's a kids movie. There was a video for a while on Netflix, and it was Cars. It was called Mater's Tall Tales. And there were different little short stories involving Mater and, of course, Lightning McQueen. And one of them, he talks about how Mater went to Tokyo. And when he went to Tokyo, he got modified because he was turned into like one of their racing cars. And the whole time they do this, I can't even do it, modified. And every time I mess up a pattern, I say, modified. Random, I know, but that's what I think of. It's so much that I showed somebody the video the other day. Like, I was like, this is why I say that. Oh, please tell me somebody in the cross-stitching community has seen that video to where I don't look like a complete idiot. But there that is. I would like share it, but it's copyrighted, so I can't. Not editing that out. Oh well. I'm just weird. And then I worked some on my spangled piece while at the retreat. Most of this was worked on at the retreat, because I worked on the ornament that I can't show you before the retreat. And then I've been working on the other pieces after the retreat. And I can't show you the round robin either because it's a surprise pattern. So I got this needle minder on the retreat. One of the girls was selling some needle minders, not inside the retreat. Let me point that out. But this is just a little American flag, and I thought it was perfect for this spangled piece. And this is where I currently am. I filled in some more of the black and then started another star in the border. So my camera rudely turned off on me. But as I was saying, I filled in some more of the black on this piece and started working on another star. And that's this gold. I don't know how well the gold will show up from here without the black around it. But that is where I currently am on Spangled. This is by Long Dog Samplers. It is a PDF pattern, so I don't have the what it's going to look like. Yeah, I do. I'll insert that here. And that is that on that project. Said a little bit on a lot of projects. And then my stitch along piece, I can show you that. I had to completely restart this when I went to do the third week 3 portion. I realized that my 1 and 2 were completely off, and it was off in more than one place. There was no fixing it, so I just restarted it. But then it ended up being a happy accident because I absolutely love this pattern, this fabric with these colors on it more so. But then this has become my Frankenstein project, and I will tell you why. Here's where I currently am. This is the way we are stitching it. I don't know. It could end up this way. It could end up upside down. Who knows? This is the way we're being told to stitch it though, so this is the way I will show it. But there that is. This is just on some 18 count kind of off yellow beige color fabric. I don't know what color you would call this. Mustard. Almost matches my shirt when it's called mustard or gold. So, the joys of this project. While I was on retreat, I realized that I was going to run out of this green color in these flowers, which is Leprechaun by Color and Cotton. I messaged her, and she no longer makes this color or no longer has any in stock, and she was willing to look through her own stash and see if she had some to send me. And I said, no, you're not going to take it out of your own stash. You know, I appreciate the offer, but you're not. So while I was on retreat, Katrina Boyd, the lady who hosts this retreats, and she has a little floss van, and she has tons of patterns there for sale. So let's go to the van and see what we can find. And she helped me find it. It's called Baby Spinach. Guys, the matching is almost impeccable. Baby Spinach by the General Art Threads. And it's so close. It'll be fine for this piece because it's a stitch along, and you know, it's supposed to be creative, modified. And then I was using the turquoise from them the turquoise was Peacock by General Art Threads, and I lost half of the skein, and I realized that after the shop was already, like her shop, the retreat shop had already closed, and I wasn't about to make her go dig through her van for one skein of floss. So on the way home, Connie and I stopped by Joann's, and I found this skein of DMC, which is 4025, which is close enough for me, the turquoise. And I've now filled that in as well. So this is my Frankenstein project. If we had to do the spooky picture again, I would show a picture of Frankenstein and explain, and I might win the spooky picture contest. But I'm enjoying this piece. I'm very interested to see the next pieces. I think it's going to be a little more revealing as to what it's going to be with the next few pieces. I didn't actually stitch on that one. I took it with me. I found this bag at my Dollar Tree. It's the mesh bags. I've got to go get some more tomorrow because they're perfect for little small on-the-go pieces. And then next was a new start. Connie also started this project. It's a Blackbird Designs piece. It is from a Just Cross Stitch magazine, August of 2003, called Summer Jubilee. This is my working copy. This is what it will look like when it's finished. I chose to completely kit this up in my own hand-dyed threads. I will review them with you. So, Connie and Kelly realized why I do not do thread conversions. I sat up the night before, I want to say it was a Thursday night, on Virtual Stitchers group with Samantha while she was at work. And I spent a whole 2 hours digging through my flosses with her. Picked all my colors out. Had them wonderful. And then realized that none of them were where I thought they were going. So I had to start over the next day. And when I started over the next day, Connie and Kelly helped me. And we spent 3 hours, guys. 3 hours working on getting these flosses ready. And then I wrote them down in the wrong order. And it was horrible. I finally have them labeled correctly and I'm ready to go. I don't want to, like, how to do I show you all of the, like, do I just read off what it's supposed to be when I'm using? So they call for General Art sampler threads. And then 1 week Style Works. Instead, I'm just going to show you what I have instead of telling you what it calls for. Because it won't matter to you. Because it doesn't matter it only matters where they go. And anyway, I'm using a Dinky Dyes Marigold, which is this yellow color. A Palomino by Week Style Works. I'm using Flagstone. This will be the blue in the flag. Flagstone by Color and Cotton. Cranberry by General Art Sampler Threads, and this will be the red in the flag. Mahogany by Color and Cotton. This is Dusty Red by Color and Cotton. Winter Wheat by Color and Cotton. Hazel Brown by Color and Cotton. I don't know how well these are showing up. Bare Copper by Color and Cotton. I actually have ordered another skein of this. This is actually a blend that I made up. It is using, I want to say, orange spice, gingerbread, and spiced orange. Those are both by Color and Cotton. And then Antique Rose by Color and Cotton. And that is it. My fabric is by Fabrics by LJ. LJ Fabrics, Fabrics by LJ. He's on Facebook. He's got some amazing fabrics and amazing prices. Some of them are more subtle variations, and the others are more like crazy variations. But this is my meager start. Oops, that's the back of my meager start. Let me show you the front. I did do a corner start this time so I won't waste any of his fabric. And this is where we are. The border is the blended filament, the spiced orange, and then the what's the other one? Spiced orange, and I just said it. Gingerbread. That's the blended thread, which is the border, and it's also used in the pattern as well. And then the alphabet is in the bare copper, and that will also be the white in the flag. It's supposed to look like a dingy, kind of faded, dingy flag. So there that is. I don't know how well that's showing up. This is 32 count over 2. I love working on his fabrics. They're so soft, but they're not that weird, like slinky soft that you feel like you're having to pull careful with your tension. But then they're not the stiff that feels like they are fraying your fabric, you know, your thread. I absolutely love his fabric. Oops, my pattern in it now. This is my pattern. And then I had to finish. I'm so excited about this finish. And this one's modified too because I got tired of all the color changes. And it is the Blue Gymnast. It's a pattern that I got off Etsy. I've linked to it before. The fabric is a Silk Weaver's Brandied Apples. But there she is. I just have to frame her. gift her. Hope my niece isn't watching. But there, my little gymnast is. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put her name or her, like her team has given her a nickname. I'm thinking about putting her team nickname on there. But if I do, I won't show it on the video. So I thought that I would show it to you now. I haven't decided yet. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put either her name on it or either her team, like her nickname. Because her coach gave her a nickname. And I think that's what I'm going to put on there. But there that is. Okay, so that was it for the stitching. And I was going to tell you guys about the retreat. Guys, I had an amazing time. Connie and I went up on Thursday. We left early Thursday morning. As always, leaving here was so hard for me. But once I was on the road, I was good to go. We had a fun time heading that way. A great, easy road trip up there. I got to drive her car. And then I can't believe she trusted me to drive her car. We survived. And we got there early enough that we were able to stop by Dixie Darling in actual Pigeon Forge and then go back to Sevierville and to the hotel. And then we went out to dinner that night. I got to eat dinner with Marlene, Stitching by the Lake. Oh, I was just in awe. I love Marlene. And I finally got to meet her, and I got to have dinner with she and her husband. And then Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, was there. And Dina and, of course, her husband were there. Half Stitch Cross Stitch. Diane was there. She doesn't make videos, but she watches videos. And then Joanna was there. And, again, doesn't make videos, but watches videos. And then, of course, Connie was there. We ate at a new restaurant there that has only been there for about 7 weeks. It was an amazing food. Amazing food. Way too much dinner. Good gracious. Joanna got some chicken livers, and let me tell you, there were enough there that, like, we all had some. She had her helping, took some home, and then was able to actually had to throw some away the next day. I ate on my cornbread and pinto beans and turnip greens the next day for lunch, and had enough to throw away because I was full after lunch. It was the amount of food was ridiculous. And of course we had fun chatting, just a wonderful time. And then the next day the retreat started. We sat and stitched all day long. We had dinner through the retreat, through Katrina. We had some pizza and just shopped and stitched and talked and stitched and talked. And then I think I went to bed at 2 a.m. that night and got up the next morning and stitched some more. And stitched and talked, and we had sandwiches, sub sandwiches, and then Connie and I headed back home on Sunday morning. And then we got home, we had a leisurely trip home, and then I was able to spend some more time with the boys. Guys, it was amazing. I cried when Marlene left Sunday night, or she left Sunday morning. But she left the stitching room, and I knew that I wouldn't see her before she left again. And I cried like a baby, had to walk out of the room. And then we got to see who all was there. Okay, I'm going to forget names, and if I forget your names, please do not be offended. Debbie sat next to me. She's not a floss tuber, and her friend Leah was there across, kind of catty-cornered. Of course, I sat across from Marlene, and then there was Connie, and Joanna, Dina. Of course, Yvonne was there, Katrina was there, and Caroline was there. I know she's on Facebook. I don't know if she makes YouTube videos. And Donna from D Squared was there. She's the one that got my ornament. And there was Janet. And then there was a whole other table. I talked to them, but I did not catch everybody's name. I know one is obsessed with Tim McGraw. The others are from Georgia, I think. There's a couple more from Georgia. There's a lot of people from Georgia there. There were so many people. There were like 25 people. Nothing like, StitchCon's going to be with 400 people, but I like the smaller retreats better because I feel like I get to talk to everybody. Katrina and I watched the Georgia-Kentucky game on Saturday. we made. Kind of had it on the background, and it was the battle to see, I think, who would go to the SEC championship, and Georgia won. So Katrina and I kidded how we weren't going to be friends for the day because, you know, whoever lost was going to be mad. But it was a blast. Guys, I strongly suggest, if you can get a kit to retreat, go to one. It's amazing. And if you can't, try to find some local stitchers in your area. It's just amazing to stitch with friends. It puts a whole new spin on the stitching. And then, of course, if not, see if there's a friend that would do video chat with you, and, you know, video chat and stitch. That's a lot of fun too. But anyway, I had a blast, and I came home completely relaxed and exhausted all at the same time. I do have some haul to show. I have to look through and see what is haul, and then what is just left over that I haven't put away yet. So I splurged. Where did that magnet come from? Lord. And got it's still jumping everywhere. This magnet, guys, is like got a mind of its own. Some of the, I'm not going to try to say that with my southern accent. Some of the sparkly DMC thread. And I did get the 10. I got just the whole lot of them, the whole group. And it came in the 10. And it's got this really neat piece of foam on here. Wonder if I could not use that for like some kind of finishing something eventually. I don't know, maybe too flimsy, and I don't know that it's acid free. And then the threads, I don't know if it's showing up the sparkle, guys. First of all, they're upside down. Okay. First of all, these are so soft. I just hit myself in the face with that. Did y'all see that? They are so soft. They're not at all like the DMC metallics like I was going to expect, that I was expecting them to be. They are so soft. They almost feel softer than the actual DMC themselves. And they have just a hint of the glitter. It looks like the glitter is all just kind of silver glitter. It's not like it matches the floss. And they are very easily named. Like this is C915. And then that's the same color as 915. But this has got the crystals. I think it's in through crystals. And then there is, you know, C310, C995. So like they've got their regular DMC number and then a C in front of it, and then it's got the crystals. So I'm hoping, since they're naming the same numbers, they may be coming out with more colors of these eventually. Not stitched with them. They do feel like they would be a little brittle. Like I may have to use some thread conditioner or at least some water. But they are super, super, super soft. I love that. So they come in the tin, but then they're on this piece of like acrylic. They're glued on. Oh. That was almost bad. But there those are. Absolutely love them. And then you get a color pattern or a color template. And then it talks about what they are in here. Doesn't really say if they call them crystals or whatever. And then you get some patterns. Is that quick enough? Some of these are actually embroidery patterns too, not just cross stitch patterns. So there those are. And it comes in a neat little tin. I don't think it says anything special about the... Doesn't really describe them on there. Okay, let's see here. I forgot to show you guys a while back ago. These were two of the different installments of color and cotton threads. I found them stashed away in a bag. Which, that one would have worked for something in the other project, but I'm not about to change it out. This looks black, but it has some variation to it. gift. I got this Erica Michaels at Dixie Darling. It's called Sisters. They laughed a little louder, they cried a little softer, they lived a little stronger because they stood together. Sisters. And then on the back it also has sisters and friends. So, I got a friend that's like a sister to me, and I thought this was beautiful, so I got that. It's probably a glare. This is stitched on 40 count silk gauze, which I will not do. And then it's stitched in garnet by Week Style Works, but I'll probably change the colors depending on, you know, who I stitch it for. That's a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift. I got a Waxing Moon Designs from the gift table, from the giveaway table. Got crows. And then on the way up there, Connie and I took a side break. It's old. And stopped by McKay's in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we got this, the Best of Just Cross Stitch book. Guys, it was $1.50 for this book. $1.50. I'm looking to see if it has. I don't see the price on it. I don't know that you can buy this just straight out. But the reason I got it, let me see if I can show you these without showing any patterns. In the back, towards the back of the book, it had some amazing samplers. It had an entire sampler section. So here's the sampler section. It has the house sampler. And then the crown sampler. Psalm 100 sampler. I'm trying to not show you pattern here. Demarest adaptation sampler. Each day is a thread sampler. Guys, I love this quote. Each day is a thread woven into the tapestry of life. And I like the sampler itself too. I love that one. And then it's got some other ones that are really, really cute. Oh, there's Neighbor's Blessing sampler. I like the motifs, but I don't necessarily like the saying on that one. I can do a flip through in this book if anybody wants me to. Just let me know if you want to flip through the entire book. But I will warn you, it is like 200 pages, and then a lot of them are very 80s patterns. But there's some really pretty ones too. And then of course there's the fruit on the front. And it can be made into a bell pull too. Let's see here. Also got Bent Creek Be Mine. Some of these are gifts, so I don't want to show them. Advent Petite by JBW Designs. Then I got this Ghouls and Ghosties pattern. Some of these I went back later, like after the retreat was done that night. There were some that I thought were cute, but I didn't want to pick them up just in case somebody else wanted them. And then I went back when it was all done and everybody had picked over them. And like if they were still there, I got them. I grabbed this this cross stitcher. It's the March 2014 edition. And then a Christmas magazine. Got this. It takes both sunshine and rain to make a rainbow. But that was a pretty sampler. And an egg for sampler. It's got some hard anchor in it. And then I got a skein of bare copper from Color and Cotton to go in the project. And then of course no floss can travel alone. So I got 2 skeins of this Goblin. And guys, this is like a dark navy blue to a beautiful forest green. Like, this color is amazing. The picture online does not do it justice. So if you've looked at Color and Cotton and thought about getting this Goblin color, just go back and get it because it's amazing. And then a partial package of last month's Color and Cotton, because I used a few of these on the actual the conversion that I did. And then that is it for my haul. Some of the ones I grabbed are gifts. Sorry, I'm making a lot of noise. Crinkle, crinkle. Some of the ones I grabbed are gifts off the table. Not gifts, but I'm going to pass them along, past the stash. So, to some other stitchers. So I'm not going to show those because I want them to be surprises. And then I don't know. It's just, they're surprises, so I'm not going to show them. But that's really everything for this video, guys. I'm hoping to come to you again more often. I am tweaking my spin the wheel whip rotation just a little bit. My issue is that on some days when I would spin the whip, I wouldn't want to work on that whip that day, or I wouldn't be feeling that whip that day. And then instead of stitching, I just wouldn't stitch at all. So instead, what I'm going to do, pardon me, this time change, guys, is killing me. And I'm a third shifter, but like, it feels like it's so much later than it really is. I was looking to see what time it was, and it's pretty late. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, so instead of spinning the wheel and getting a whip and like having to make myself work in it all day, my new rule, and I stole this from Katrina. She and somebody else are going to start this in January. I only have to work on that whip for 1 hour a day. I can work on it for more than 1 hour, but I only have to work on it for 1 hour that day. And then if I don't enjoy it, I can pick another whip and even spin another wheel again. Or just go from there. I don't know that I will do just an hour that often, because usually once I get the whip out, I'm fine. But knowing that I only have to work on it for an hour, I think will help a lot more and keep my stitchy bug from going away. But I don't have any new starts planned anymore this month. Planned. It doesn't mean I won't start any, I won't not start any new starts. Let's see. I am now up to, let's look and see. Ooh, that was loud. Crash. I now have, 9 finishes this year, and $19 starts this year. Of those, I have finished, 10 finishes. I have finished 3 of my previous whips. So a lot of my new starts have been finishes. And then, so yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm impressed. Next year, I think I'm going to focus on, I know a few people are doing like the, absolutely no new starts. I'm not going to do that. Some people are doing the complete stitch from stash. I'm not going to do that. And then, I'm going to try to, but I'm not going to limit myself. And then others are doing the, like they're starting 12 different whips, 1 for each month. And then, I'm going to probably try to do the Soulful Stitchers thing again, the, year of whips again, because I did really well with that a couple years, or not this year, but last year. So yeah, 2 years ago, and got a lot of finishes out. I think I'm going to focus on getting some finishing done next year. I might even make a rule that I can't start a new one until I finish an old one. We'll see. I don't know. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for taking the time to comment, and thank you for subscribing, and I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I hope to see you next week. Happy stitching.